Okay, the final thread. Update 50 Preview 1, Scroll Seal Shard Loot Revamp. Dun 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 dun. Disclaimer, everything seen on preview server Lamannia is not final and subject to change or removal before live release. Update 50 includes the complete refactor of the Seal Scroll Shard crafting system, which usually abbreviated to SSS. There is a lot to get into, so let's dive right in. All of the rest of heroic items from the SSS item packs will be revamped as part of this pass. Wow. That's a lot of items. It's like hundreds of items. There's like a bazillion items in the Sands of Manectron alone. Which is one of the reasons why it makes it so damn hard to make an epic item out of Sands of Manectron, because there's so many freaking scrolls and seals and shards to get. Literally, every single rare chest has a different named item in it in the Sands of Manectron. It's the only Slayer Zone in the game that every single rare chest can drop a named item. And a different one. The different named item for every single rare chest in the Sands of Manectron. Plus, you got items in all the quests, then you got items in the raid, and it's like there's just a crazy number of items in that pack. So, Web of Chaos, the Vault of Night, the Chronoscope, the Sands of Manectron, not present in this preview. Yeah, because there's a bazillion items there. Fierlin Carnival already completed in Update 39. The Red Fens already completed in Update 36. Sentinels of Stormreach already completed in Update 40. All the epic items from the above packs will also be revamped to bring them up to appropriate scaling values. We were just talking about this earlier. Wow, that is exciting. I am really enthusiastic now. That is super cool. They're doing a lot of work here, guys. You want some Charlton Heston? Finally, all of the above packs will get level 30 legendary versions of their items that will be competitive for endgame play. Wow! What? What? Okay. I'll be getting level 30 legendary versions of the items and all. Wow! That's crazy! So what's changing with the upgrade flow? Heroic items will continue to drop as is. Epic items are obtained in the Altar of Epic Rituals with the following recipe. Heroic item plus 50 pack ingredients, asterisk, what's that? Plus 5 greater tokens of the 12. If the item is from a raid, what's this asterisk? Pack ingredients will drop wherever seals or shards will drop in a moderate amount. It will likely take 2 to 3 runs of a quest to get enough of the material for one item. These ingredients are pack specific. For example, the pack ingredient for Chronoscope would be a broken sliver of time, etc. You will likely collect quite a bit of these as they're a guaranteed drop and they're also obtained everywhere as specified below. Okay. So a new ingredient. That's better than a scroll and a seal and a shard. To just have one ingredient. Legendary items are obtained in a new altar of legendary rituals with the following recipe. Epic item plus 100 pack ingredients plus 5-star fragments. Plus 5-star fragments? Double asterisk. Plus 250 threads of fate if the item is from a raid. The double asterisk reads, star fragments will be an uncommon drop from legendary salt marsh to start and will become more available later on. Just like how empty soul vessels will be joining the list of threads of fate, purchasable items as of update 50. Cool. Our goal is that it will not be hard to find enough of these to upgrade your item. What about our existing materials? You will be able to crunch unused seals, scrolls, and shards down into some amount of pack ingredients of the appropriate type. Wow. Veterans, get ready for some crunching, because if you're like me, you got like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shards and seals and scrolls. Why not just let epic items drop as is? I'm glad they answered that. Let's see what they say. Since the Shard Seal Scroll system is a crafting system, we don't want to invalidate previous progress. If someone has spent 10 years grinding the E-sauce, that's Epic Sword of Shadows, we don't want to tell that person to keep farming for it. We want to actually let them get that item as soon as the update drops. They've already done the time. We need to let them turn those spare materials, which in this instance represents time they already spent grinding, into a tangible reward. What are you going to do about the ESOS? Nothing. I actually don't think that item needs changing. If people can't finally get and use it, that's great. If people can finally get and use it, that's great. I'm genuinely happy to make something that cool more accessible. Are you worried that by making these items, which have for so long been so rare, so much easier to attain, that you'll be invalidating years of grinding already spent? I really hate this argument. I really, really do. That's something only the players can really answer for me. I'm not worried about it, and I'm a longtime player who's grinded for years. You know what I say? Let them eat cake. That's what I say. If the kids want to eat cake, let them eat it. Let them have 2 slices. Give them a third. What the hell? This cake has no calories. So munch away. Oh yeah, I need an epic wolf whistle. Oh hell yeah, I need that. What if we're all running around with those monster Thorak hounds? Oh yeah, that's gonna be delicious. What are you going to do? Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. What are you going to do with the legendary Sword of Shadows? We are not going to be creating a functional legendary version of the Sword of Shadows. If we were to create a version that kept the large expanded critical profile that is known for it, would be incredibly hard to create other comparable legendary weapons that didn't also feature that same expanded critical profile. If we were to make a functional greatsword that used the Sword of Shadows name, but didn't have the expanded critical profile, it would feel like a pale imitation to the lower level variants. With that being said, the plan currently is to create a cosmetic version of the Sword of Shadows featuring brand new art inspired by the current model that can be earned and shown off. We know this solution will not fit all desires, but believe it necessary to avoid painting our item design into a corner. I don't play two-handers, but just my knee-jerk reaction is to disagree with that. If we can have an epic Sword of Shadows, it seems like there's got to be some version of a legendary Sword of Shadows that would be okay. Maybe it doesn't have to be a giant, leap forward, but something a little bit better than the epic version seems like it would be appropriate. I mean, it just seems like you gotta do it. But, it seems like they're also saying, we don't want this to be the end-all be-all like it was for so long. If we have old epic items, will we need to reobtain them? There is already a Stone of Change recipe that will let you turn any epic scroll seal shard item into a new version. So no, just throw it in the Stone of Change. It'll fix itself. Be aware this will effectively delete your item and give you a new one, so take care if you have augments or sentient filigree that you'd want to keep. And that red lettering is hard for me to read on a gray background. What about mythic bonuses? Since we aren't dropping these items, we can't rely on our existing mythic tables. So we're probably going to need to get fancy. Our current plan. Players will be able to turn a large chunk of Threads of Fate into an item that, when combined with an epic or legendary version of an item, upgrade it to mythic, and then mythic +3 or +4. Sort of like the Schism Shard recipe, but more generic. So we don't need 900 different crafting recipes. So you're going to be able to take Threads of Fate, which come from endgame raids, and add mythic properties to these items. Okay. How does Salt Marsh fit into this? Salt Marsh will contain new level 3 heroic items that will then be able to upgrade it to level 20 and then level 30 versions through epic and legendary crafting. Salt Marsh's legendary content will still contain a few standalone level 29 items, as well as new augments, but a portion of Salt Marsh will require engagement with the revamped scroll seal shard system. Feel free to take a look at the items in this preview and Salt Marsh itemization post. Note there's also something special with certain Salt Marsh items in this system that we'll get into. Oh man, that red lettering's hard to read. That we'll get to do something a little differently. But that part wasn't quite ready for this preview. Can we walk through an upgrade process just to be sure? Sure! Here's how someone would obtain a copy of the legendary Kundurok Delving Boots. First, they would do the raid Vault of Night and its subsequent raid, the Plane of Night. In the end chest, on any difficulty, Heroic and Epic, there is a chance to obtain a copy of the Heroic level Kundurok Delving Boots. From there, they would take the Kundurok Delving Boots 50 vault keys found within any Vault of Night chest that could have dropped a seal or a shard, and 5 greater tokens of the 12, and combine them in the Altar of Epic Rituals found within the 12 to obtain the Epic Kundurok Delving Boots. With those, they would take their new Epic Kundurok Delving Boots, 100 vault keys, 250 threads of fate, and 5 star fragments, and combine them in the Altar of Legendary Rituals to obtain the legendary Kundurok Delving Boots. If you had a copy of the current Kundurok Delving Boots or Epic Kundurok Delving Boots, you can skip right ahead to whichever part of this process, as the old item from before the revamp will work with the new system. They are doing a hell of a lot of work. So, are we not going to see these items? So there's no link to these items. That's a lot of stuff. I'm enthusiastic.